Shannon Morse produces our show. We call her Snubs. That's her Twitter handle and how everybody's known her for years. She's a host of Threatwire on the tech feed on YouTube.
Correct.
It's nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
And you are becoming our queen of e-readers. You got another one now.
I love e-readers.
This is the Nook.
This is more of a tablet, though. You can do all sorts of stuff on this thing.
So this is Barnes & Noble's response to the Kindle Fire.
Yes, it is. I actually saw a lot of comparisons of this online of the Barnes & Noble Nook HD, which is this one, and the Kindle Fire as well. So this one comes in about 4 different versions. You can get the nice white background, which is a little bit dirty because it's a reviewer's product. And there's also a gray version.
That's the gray.
Well, yeah, it's kind of gray.
Is that supposed to be white?
Maybe it is. Well, there's a darker gray version.
This is light gray. Okay. Or
Light
it really
gray
is dirty.
And dark gray.
All right.
And they come in 8 gigs or 16 gigs.
Okay.
The 8
this
gig
is nice,
is
though. This is kind of
$199.
rubberized.
It is. You
has
know
an
what's nice
elegant
about
look,
this
the rounded
is
corners.
when you put your fingers back here,
Yeah.
it's really easy to hold it and read things on it. You can hold it with one hand because it's only 11 ounces.
Right.
Or just with 2 hands. And it's got this thick bezel. The reason for that is so you can put your thumbs here and you don't accidentally, turn
Touch the
pages
screen. Yeah.
or anything like that.
I have to say the screen is gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
I don't know if you can see it at home,
display,
but boy,
so
yeah,
you can
it's
see
really
it when you
pretty.
turn it around.
Yeah.
And it's full HD. It's actually 1440 by 900 resolution. So it's very, very high res. It does play videos as well. Those videos come out at 720p though, so those are not full 1080p.
Now, is this also a hacked version of Android like the Kindle Fire?
Yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah.
This is ice cream sandwich, surprisingly.
Interesting.
Not jelly bean.
Okay.
So it's a little
Older
bit
version.
behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And you can't access Google Play, obviously. You have to go through the Barnes & Noble shop, which gives you all the apps that are available. But they do have a wide range. They have Netflix in here. There's Evernote. So there's a lot of popular
I saw Angry
ones.
Birds. I saw Fruit Ninja.
There's even the new the Piggies game and so on.
Oh, I love that game.
There's a lot of
Words with Friends. Yep.
So yeah, all the normal apps that you would generally find, and then you can also access their movies, their comics and books, their magazines. You can even purchase catalogs on it, all sorts of stuff.
Does Barnes & Noble have the same kind of variety of content as Amazon does?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's over 3 million books that you can buy through this, and you can read them all on here very easily. One thing I noticed as well, if I go in here, I can read Walking Dead, and the comic books
it's the comic
are
book.
beautiful
So
on
it's
here.
grayscale, which is nice. It's not because this is not a monochrome monitor. This is a color monitor. You get some beautiful kind of shading.
You do. And I'll just click up here to the settings and change the brightness
Feels
a little
pretty
bit so you can
fast,
see it
too.
a little bit better.
Did you
It's
feel like it was
very
snappy?
quick. It's a dual-core processor.
Yeah.
I like that you can zoom in on things,
Oh,
and when you
great.
flip the page, they have this nice little accent. 3D
You're actually seeing the page through the back of the other page. Yeah,
it's very neat. It's just a nice little quality that they added to it. Being, a bookstore, they thought about those kind of things when they made this. The battery lasts about 10 hours if you're fully reading a bunch of books, a little bit less if you're watching movies on it. And if I go into my recently watched, I can pull up Midnight in Paris, and you can see that the video looks very nice. You can rent things as well through Barnes & Noble. The rentals are 24 hours.
The sound is good.
Sound quality is great. Yeah, it looks really nice at 720p.
I would say, despite the fact that Amazon made a big deal about their
speakers.
Dolby speakers on the Kindle Fire, this actually sounds better than the Kindle Fire
Yeah, it's really
does.
clear and crisp,
Yeah.
which was my favorite part about that. It's not really muffled or anything like that. And when people
tinny, not
talk on
breaking
it
up.
and things like that, you could definitely listen to like a video podcast on here really easily and very nicely. So
Nice
I
for
like
somebody who
that.
does those. That's a good idea.
Yeah, exactly. It's a great option to think about. It also has the rotating screen, if it'll work.
All of these, it was doing it before.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go. All of these are a little slow on rotation.
Yeah, they're a little bit slow, but yeah, it has the rotating screen, so you can watch it both ways. Unfortunately, the Kobo that I checked out last week, that one did not rotate on that ebook reader. And you'll notice up here, my name is Philip.
Why?
So you can change to a bunch of different accounts. You can have up to 6 different accounts.
You have multiple profiles on
Yeah,
here.
when I spoke to
That's
Barnes & Noble
great. I
about
like that.
they said that this would be a great tablet for a family because not only can you have up to 6 different accounts on it, and God, I hope you don't have that many kids.
But you could have kid profiles.
You could have kid profiles, and you can also protect them. So if you go into edit profiles,
so you can lock down a profile.
You can lock them down.
That's
so
great.
they can't access your own stuff. Like if Philip had a bunch of movies on here that maybe Jade shouldn't be watching, she won't have access to those. And then he can also lock her out from the shop if you wanted to.
She gets her own wallpaper, her own set of applications. I like that. I think that's a nice feature.
And if you go to the lock screen,
that's a hardware lock?
Yeah, it's a little hardware lock, and then I can choose whoever I want to log in.
You drag the head into the lock to unlock it
as well.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's just a simple little feature that I found which was really nice and customizable and could be really useful for a family. It kind of reminds me of back in the 90s when you had a personal home computer at home and you had a bunch of different accounts on it for all of your... For every family member. Each person had something different on it.
Well, something the iPad still hasn't done, but I'm glad to see this does do that. That's great.
Yeah, me too. So overall, I really liked it. There were a couple of things I didn't like. For example, it didn't have it has a proprietary charger
That's not a standard USB microcharger. It looks almost like the Apple 30 pin. It's not, though.
Yeah, and then they do have a little speaker here, although you'll notice
microphone.
Microphone.
Yeah.
This is only for if you want to read a book and record it for a child.
Oh.
So you can do that through this. Unfortunately,
but it doesn't have Siri or anything
you'll notice, no Siri, and there's also no webcam up here on the front or the back.
Got it.
So it's missing that little feature, and that's something that they should have added. No Skype video, unfortunately. I also noticed they have this micro SD card.
Yeah.
They have a micro SD card in here for me to use. You can do up to 64 gigs.
So you can add memory.
Yeah, you can add memory up to, including the 16 gigs that they have on here as well. So my pros and cons of this little guy are the high-res screen. I really like the high-res.
Really
it looks
good.
great. It's beautiful. A huge selection of books. You can find pretty much everything you want to at Barnes & Noble, obviously. And it's really good for families. I like that they have a bunch of different accounts on here to use. It's very family-friendly. And then the cons, of course, it is tied off to the Barnes & Noble App Store, so you can't access Google Play, unfortunately, and there is no camera up there. But all in all, I think it's very well made. I don't think it would be great for everyone, especially not people who are tied into Google Play and tied into the Android marketplace and want those type of things. But I would definitely give it a try, especially for families. I also wanted to mention, though, I did find out that this is being updated a lot. There are new apps being made for it. We did hear a lot about them saying maybe we're not going to continue doing hardware, but I don't know. There might be some new hardware. We'll see.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And how much?
This one itself is $199, and there's also a $229 version.
All right. So everything's kind of in this ballpark now.
Yeah.
These Nexus, the Kindle Fire,
it's
the
decently
Nook.
priced.
You're not getting a real Android device. You're getting a customized Android device. But I think that's not a bad thing for people who want a content device. This is very simple.
And if you have like a Barnes & Noble membership already,
you're in there.
You're kind of, this is what you want to buy.
Yeah. Very nice. Thank you. Shannon Morse, the host of ThreatWire on
ThreatWire and Hack 5.
The Tech Feed. And are you on Hack 5 all the time?
Oh, yeah, every week.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Why don't I plug that? I knew you used to be on, so you're still on.
Yeah, I'm still on Hack 5
good.
and Hack Tip. I'm all over
all
the
of that
place.
stuff. She's a busy lady and produces this show as well, and you do a great job.